let's go over a few things before we have our special speaker today, who we're really excited about. Lots of great information. I've got lots of emails through the week talking about this subject, what it can do, how you can use it, what you can use it with, and what results you can expect. So now that you guys are just starting to get your Sizzle products, your silver product, a couple weeks after everybody else, you're starting to now see some of the cool things this amazing product can do, and that Tom formulated. Just very, very cool. So let's start off with our back orders. And I got to keep watching, make sure we let people in. This is very cool. I posted the WhatsApp call. It's on our Facebook page. And the email that I sent 2 nights ago to everybody with this link, I also included the WhatsApp call. But we only have coffee as a back ordered product now. So Aseptic Clean is back in stock. They're just doing a great job. I mean, seriously, I keep bringing this up, but just a couple of years ago, it was such dire times, but how far we've come. And I know it's difficult when even that 1 or 2 product is back ordered and it's the one that you love. But I always say that we can work with 1 or 2. And that's kind of just what happens with companies that have a lot of products like we do. So really good news there, guys. We just have the coffee. The ETA on the coffee is next week. We got lots of it being made, so it'll be there for a long time. The deal of the day is the 18th. So guys, mark that on your calendar for sure. Especially for us, it's a difficult call to get on and get your order in. We want to make sure you get your deal of the day. So try as early as you can. Remember, you don't have to make a call. You can send in an email. It's just things get so crowded, and people in the US who kind of wait till night, then they kind of compete with the Australians. So it kind of makes it tough, but just try and look for those times where there's not a lot of people who might be on the call. You guys can get this deal of the day because this is a really awesome one. Our October promo, which I love, and it's always a great one for us with these 2 products and what's going on around the world. So we have 2 Spectrum X and 2 Avenger. Our distributor price is $262, PV $262, CV $231, preferred customer price $288, PV $287, CV $254. So a price of $262. This is a big savings, $46, almost $50. I mean, that is just awesome. So I love this promo. The deal of the day kind of goes along with this promo. We try and do that. If you notice, sometimes it does look like that, and other times it just doesn't. But this one is definitely meant to kind of be cohesive with whatever the promo is. So loving our October promo. And this kind of leads me into, I talked about this on the breakout call. And let me admit someone, guys. Make sure everybody gets in here. Our holiday catalog is coming. And I could not be more excited about this because, we were talking about this in meetings this week. This is really, and I don't know if you guys have noticed that, Sizzle's really turning the corner as far as the things that we're doing to support our distributors, and doing that on a consistent basis and with all, the support and aids and materials that you need. Many times we've been asked about holiday products, seasonal products, different things like that. And while we've done it, there hasn't really been any consistency to that. That has definitely changed. And I hope you guys have noticed this. It's a lot of work. Our creative team is absolutely amazing. Karen has done such a great job to go in there. And I'm telling you, like I said, we had Mower Mountain done. And the next week we had a Mower Mountain meeting for the very next year. So she's on top of it. They're all on top of it. We're having meetings, doing cool stuff. Same with the weight loss. We know weight loss starts at the beginning of the year in January. Tom and his team have been working on weight loss for the whole year. So just so you know, really cool things that you're going to start to see consistently happen for you instead of saying, are we going to have anything this year? We absolutely are. And this is one I love. It's going to be something that we continue. You guys have probably heard me talk about this a little bit here and there as we've kind of done a little drip campaign, but our holiday catalog. And the thing I love most about this, and I always say, listen to the words because there's some cool things in here. They've been assembling these, putting these together. This holiday catalog will include many of our favorite products as well as new products. So some new products no one's ever seen, used, heard of in Sizzle. Those are going to be part of these packs. Very cool. These products will continue after the holiday catalog, but they will be premiered in the holiday catalog. Let me turn this off. So not only is there really cool stuff for the holidays, but you guys are going to be really excited to see these new products. We have something in every single category: health, fitness, personal care, home, and the Triangle of Life Sizzle Cafe. So there's absolutely something for everyone. Another great thing is the price point. And we'll tell you more about this later. These are great price points. I mean, we're talking between $20 and $30 for gifts. I mean, everybody can use a product or a present that's in that price range that comes with, a lot of fun things. Not only will they have some very fun products, some are old, some are new, but there's going to be some swag in there, which means some cool new things like just a tool in there that kind of goes along with that kit. And I don't want to say too much because, it'll ruin it. And I want them to be able to announce it. But there will be a holiday item in there, a gift that goes along with the products in this. So it is very exciting. The gift bags, the boxes, I've seen them. They're absolutely beautiful. So super fun. There's going to be some tags. You guys can have them sent on to other people. You can order them and customer service will write on a tag, send it on, or you can have it delivered to you and you guys can have that sent on to whoever you want. So for Australia, that's going to be a little bit different. As we kind of dial down on that in the next week, I'll let you know the details on that. But we absolutely will have a holiday catalog as well. And it will be coming in a great time. I think you'll be seeing the catalog itself. And maybe Tom can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But in the next week or two, I think you'll see the catalog and you'll see those products so that you can order them well before Christmas and get them out to everybody. So really excited. I really love this holiday catalog. Very, very, very fun things in there. We're going to do this every year. I hope it includes new products every year, but this is just one that kind of, I see distributors have asked for years, literally years. Let somebody in. And excuse me, guys, and just wanting some stuff for around the holidays. They've put a lot of time into really making this something that looks top class. I mean, this looks awesome. And when you get it, you're just like, this is so cool. And especially with the little gift in that, you guys, you're going to love it. So I can't wait till we have a call. I'm able to take one of these and kind of show you guys what's in it, how it's packaged, and what you get when it comes in your box. So very cool. Don't forget the holiday catalog, and we'll keep talking about that through the next few weeks. A reminder to let everybody know, we've been having some problems with a few people getting confused on this. So I was asked by Tati and Tyler to kind of let you guys know, make this announcement. When you get your shipping vouchers, every 4 months, you'll get that LRP voucher. In the same month, you might get vouchers in the same month. What's our rule on that? Our rule is your shipping voucher comes at the end of the year. Well, the end of your year as far as when you started, right? So if that comes at the same time you're getting any other vouchers, because we get other vouchers in Australia as far as we don't do refunds, you might get product vouchers. Those don't matter, but you can only use one every 30 days. We have people calling in with vouchers and they want to use them 2 days in a row, and you just can't. So there's been a few complaints about that, I guess, the last couple of weeks. And maybe it's somebody new. I'm not sure, because, I mean, we're all well aware of this for quite a while, how that works. And asking customer service to kind of bend the rules on this is just, they just can't. So get acquainted with your back office, what vouchers you got, when they're coming in and when you can use them. So, and we've done some meetings on that, some trainings where we had customer service come in and kind of talk to us about that. If we need to do that again, then we will. And then one last reminder is you need to get your sponsor product order authorization, which is a big word, authorization form, your sponsor product order authorization form. You need to get that turned in by the end of the year, because it's going to take effect the 1st of January. This is super important. Those of you who are helping some of your distributors, calling in, helping them place orders on their accounts, if you do not have this form, you will not be able to go in there and do that. And we don't want this to be something where it makes it difficult for you to help your downline, because we realize it's just something that leaders do, and we want you guys to continue doing that. Sandy, you're hilarious. What is their problem? They've got 3 months to use them. So I know, Sandy, but sometimes, there's people who wonder about that. So lots of comments here that are kind of fun to read. So we have got, and this is one of our last calls that we've been doing on the Mower Mountain recap. So you guys were not able to come to that. I'm hoping in the upcoming years we get some more Aussies and some New Zealanders coming in for the Mower Mountain, because we already have so many fun things planned for our upcoming year. In fact, this last time we had so many distributors say, Lisa, where do we find the form? Okay, I'm going to assume, Jen, it's in your back office, but I'll check. I know I saw a copy of the form and I can put that up maybe, but I'll definitely make sure I see where that form is. Check your back office. Customer service will definitely have that answer, but I'll kind of dig that out, that information out for you too as well, Jen. So I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. Our Mower Mountain. So we had so many people. We did a lot of different things that we've never done at a Mower Mountain. Just kind of wanted to get up, make things different. And the feedback was so positive. It was really fun. The hard thing with that is, and this is the great thing, is we turned around, like we said, and we opened Mower Mountain right up immediately. And it is filling up like we're almost full. So if you are thinking of coming, please do. Mary W. says, can we do a Mower Mountain Down Under? Listen, I did go back and I talked to Tom in a meeting and other people there about coming to Australia. And instead of maybe doing a tour, having a few people come and you guys gather in one or maybe 2 destinations. And they were definitely open for that. So we'll talk more about that. I think it's a great concept. We had a call a few weeks ago just on that and what you guys wanted to do, as we're ready to start doing tours and trainings, and they kind of like that one. So yeah, we can kind of make it Mower Mountainish Down Under a little bit too. I think that's a great idea, Mary. So if you are wanting to come though, definitely take a look for that. And like we stated before, we're going to look at doing something for Australia, a tour or meetings, trainings, whatever we want to call it at this point. Spring. I think we said spring, February, March, I think is when everybody said. I think everybody actually said March or April is when the best time is. And we'll keep doing some talking on that and make sure that we keep working on that, because we've got to start planning on that so we can get a lot of people there. So let's not delay. We've got Tom Mower Jr., our CEO and co-founder. He's here to talk about what he talked about at Mower Mountain. Like I said, I brought you every speaker at Mower Mountain, what they spoke about so that you guys could get that training, see the new products, see the new programs, see some of the new people you guys have never seen before. Of course, you've seen him, and every time you see him, he gets wider and wider. He was in some meetings this week, and I looked at his beard, and I've never seen it be so white. And I was literally thinking he could be a good Santa Claus. But he made this product, formulated this product, and we're so lucky that he had the years of working with Dad to really learn how to formulate these products. Not only the years and experience, side by side with Dad. Tom has the education, the chemistry education, to make these products in a way that, Dad always wanted for himself. Dad always wanted to go to school. So Tom put himself through school and gave himself that background foundation in the science of all these things. And I'm telling you, we all laugh at him. We'll sit in meetings because once he starts, talking about all these technical stuff, it's just, way over our head. He's kind of taken off where my dad left. And, as far as driving me crazy, he'll be doing some mathematical equation and then he'll flip it to me and say, Lise, what's the answer on that? I'm just like, okay, yeah, don't know, don't care. So, but he's just way up here. But luckily for us, because he's making so many cool products. And like I said, so many cool products to come. We have next year coming along, our weight loss season, and other seasons coming. And trust me, we are not resting on our laurels. We get some more people in here. We are working fast and furious to keep things going, and that keeps him going fast and furiously. So he formulated Sizzle Silver. I have to say, I've already used it. I gave a testimonial of mine on the breakthrough call. I'll be on the Monday morning call with DW, giving that same testimonial, but it's a product a lot of people have been asking about. I've gotten some questions from people as there's just so many different applications for this product. So I'm going to share the screen. Tom, if you want to get on and say hello, and we'll let you give us your Mower Mountain presentation.
Well, it's great to be on here. Lisa, real quick, how many pounds does a stone weigh?
I don't care.
All the Aussies know this one. That's 14 pounds. You got to know that.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's great to be here. And you're right, I am getting more silver. I'm here to talk about silver today. Many people maybe think that I grew this just for this presentation. And I see one of the comments, Tom, you've got to do something for gray. And I'll tell you what, I've tried a lot of things and I'm still working with it. And I get limited results with what I've tried so far, obviously. But the nice thing about it, we never say give up, we never say die, and we're always looking at new science. And one thing I want to bring up, when Lisa was talking about these packs we're putting together, these products, we're going to see if they're going to be available beyond the pack. Right now, we're only making enough to do the holiday season. We'll see if it's going to be a seasonal or what it'll be. But there's 4 or 5 exciting new products out there. So if you want to try them, you'll want to get them when the catalog and the packs come out and try these fun new formulations that we put together. Mower Mountain was exciting. We had, geez Louise, we had over 200 people there, and a lot of excitement. And for the first time ever, I thought I'm going to give out 3 or 4 samples of different formulations I've been working on. I gave out a formulation of an all-natural deodorant. I gave out a sample, obviously, of this silver tincture that's innovative, and it is very exciting. And then also, and we're still working on a horse formulation. Many of us, as you know, we have a lot of Amish distributors, and I have lots of horses too. And there's things that I've tried on my horses that have been very successful compared to what's on the market. And where I'm at with that is just the fact I have to make sure that I can get supplies of the actives because they are innovative. They're not commonly available. And I made samples, had the Amish try them, and they are frankly driving us crazy because they want them. But I've got to make sure I can get adequate amounts of the materials, the special types of collagens and proteins that I need to help take care of lameness and different things. But today I'm excited, not just because I'm looking silver, but because I'm going to talk about silver. And silver is something that has fascinated me for years. I'm a real history buff, and I read a lot about a history. I was watching a special, I think it was Buckley, who was down in the Melbourne area, this winter, and his exploitations of going through and living with the Aboriginal colonies. And when my wife works, she's always worked nights at the hospital. That's my night to watch documentaries and look at different exciting things out there. Anyway, one thing I've always been fascinated with is the ability of silver to be so natural, but be so highly effective. And one thing about it, we don't find bacteria and things that become immune to it. That's one thing that's always impressed me so much. We talk about becoming resistant forms of bacteria, and we find a lot of pesticides, insects and weeds and things become resistant and have DNA mutations. Well, one thing exciting about silver, it has always been effective for thousands of years. And because of that, we find it in hot tub and swimming pool chemistry and water purification. They'll have, systems with silver beads that water will travel past to keep water fresher in pools and hot tubs. And we find all sorts of applications in the medical industry. They embed it in bandages. They treat and embed it in catheters, and they have it in different formularity for burn ointments. And why is that? Because it works. And so for years I have studied it. Dad used to always tell me, Tom, you've got to find a way of doing silver that will meet the Mower mission, because the only downside is that with silver that I could see over the last 30, 40 years of me looking into it was the fact that people, when they took too much of it, it accumulated in the fat tissue within the skin, and they became kind of a gray-blue color because it is so reactive with light. And because of that, I would always tell Dad, I just don't see how we do it. And because of that, I've always, been looking for new chemistry. And so today I'm going to show a few of the slides I think Sisel has ready on the presentation I did at Mower Mountain. I won't play the video. I had a research scientist come in and talk about silver and why ours is so unique. And so let's go down to that fourth slide there, Sisel, and talk just briefly about the history of silver. And, you can see on here, you go down to the fourth paragraph there, the Australian settlers, they knew the value of silver, and they'd put silverware in their water tanks to inhibit water from spoiling, keeping it fresher. And my relatives and Sisel's relatives, they immigrated from the eastern side of America and came out here in covered wagons, and they would put silver coins in wood barrels attached to their wagons and carts to keep water fresh when they had to travel distances and carry water. But this goes back even further. The Roman Empire used it. They knew that wine and urns that were made from silver would help stop spoilage. It's interesting, too, a lot of the diseases that plagued Europe, now scientists, they look at the areas where the death was the greatest, and now they've come up with the theory, a lot of it is in the poor class of society because they did not have silverware. The wealthier people had silver goblets and plates and silverware. And they estimate that because of that, they were getting micro amounts of silver in their diet. It was keeping their food and their drink fresher and less contamination. And then when plagues would come through, they had a lower incident of death and illness because of the silver that they were consuming. In the early 1800s, even in the 1700s, there was a lot of investigation into the benefits of silver and also photography. And in the early 1800s, doctors started using silver sutures. They would embed silver in thread. And what did they find? They did not get the bacterial infections because of this silver component. And, the earliest photographers, I think the first photography was in the early 1800s, but in the 1780s and 90s, they were experimenting. They knew that silver was very reactive with light, especially silver halides that were combined with iodine and bromide and fluoride, and I know Lisa was thinking silver chloride also. But with these halides, they were very photosensitive because silver oxidizes and silver will contribute ions. Looking at how does silver work? Silver will embed itself in the membrane of bacteria. And by doing that, it will impart nanoparticles within there that disrupt the workings of that bacteria and virtually make it a zombie cell. And by doing so, these silver particles are within that dead bacteria cell, and then they can be shared with other bacteria. And so it has a cascading effect. So even though the science now has proven how it works, we have a huge a database of thousands of years of how it helps to pasteurize products and how people have used it throughout the years. Let's go to the next, Lisa. And so this is a common pharmaceutical, Silvadene, that's used to help control bacteria and yeast, and it's really used a lot in burn clinics. And in fact, our youngest brother, mine and Liesel's youngest brother, I remember when he was a child, he was about 4 or 5, he picked up a kerosene heater that we had and was severely burned on his arms. And this is what they gave us. And so, does silver work? I don't think there's a person in the world who could doubt the effects of this. A few years ago, I had an employee who had worked for me, probably 20, 25 years ago, who is now a very prominent dentist in our area, along with his father and dad. They're dentists also, and they're doing research also on plaque and other dental practices on implants and surgeries. And he came to me and said, I want to make a product. And he set up a lab in their office that would be highly effective, that would help promote dental healing and reduce the ability of bacterial infections in mouth, as you can imagine, is very common. And so I told him about silver and how that would aid and speed the recovery of cankers and things that I had done in the past when people were prone to having ulcers and cankers in their mouth. And I've done that here at work with people, and they're saying, I just have a canker I can't get rid of. I will, even my children, and I will make them this micronized form of silver that we have and have them swish with that. And boy, I'll tell you what, I've had so many people say, wow, I've been to the doctor a week ago and he put me on antibiotics. And within the first day of using your product, I can feel the healing properties that are coming about. And that's because the healing is not being blocked by the infection that the bacteria is trying to impart. One thing that's really exciting about silver also is very effective on viruses. And I'm still waiting for a scientist to see what the value of silver with COVID would be, because we know that silver will also disrupt DNA and RNA that viruses try to impart within our healthy cells and overtake. And so silver has thousands of years of proven safety, and medical industries still use this, like I say, in catheters and burn remedies and ointments. They embed it in bandages and for so many things because it is so highly effective. Let's go to the next, Liesel. And so I was working with this individual, Steve Ravelli. The company that he's working with controlled a patent on silver. And it was a micronized nanoparticle that they formed a coating of silver tetraoxide. And so actually it was silver tetraoxide, 4 silver particles to 4 oxygen particles. And they would take a very small nanoparticle of silver and then coat it with these nanoparticles of this silver tetraoxide. Now, what made that very exciting for me were 2 main points. One thing, they had done double-blind studies on this to show that it was eliminated from our body within 24 hours. This is one of the biggest hangups that I've ever had with silver, because people, it would accumulate in the fat, and if they consumed it over time, it would build up in the fat tissue and is very reactive with light, and people would turn blue. And this is why I would tell Tom Sr., I believe in silver topically. I believe in swishing with it, and extreme cases of ingesting it. But to make it Sizzle safe and meet our criteria, it has to cause no harm, and it cannot accumulate in our body. And so with this patented process that Steve and his company, and Steve's a very renowned scientist, he has degrees in chemical education and leadership from a major university here, and degrees in clinical laboratory science and medical technology, and he's probably been involved with this for 30 some odd years. It really became exciting to me to review the research and the science. And then I found that the largest hospital in our area, this was the only form of silver they would allow within their medical library to use in formulas. And it had to be this form, or else they would not allow it. And so that told me a lot there also. So with this, we worked a licensing agreement to use this in our silver formulation that we have brought out. Let's go to the next, Liesel. And we'll go one more past that. And so this is an individual that was very famous. He actually passed away a couple of years ago, and he had ingested large amounts of silver. And this is, if you go back to the 80s and 90s, boy, I remember there was a big push on colloidal silver, and this gentleman was part of that. And people were taking silver coins and silverware and reacting it with nitric acid and electrolysis just to suspend silver in solution and ingest it. But that was ionic silver in large particle size that could not, was it effective on bacteria? I bet it was to a large degree, not to the degree that we have, because we have all these thousands of nanoparticles around every piece of our Sizzle silver that makes it duplicate over and over and over again, unlike what this gentleman was using. But as you can see, it accumulated in his skin, in his fat tissue. And one thing we know about light and silver, just like in photography, when they were first developing photography, it is very reactive with light, and it oxidizes. and you become blue. We all see silverware when it's tarnished. I remember growing up as a young boy and working with Dad in the industrial chemical business, and I remember using sodium thiosulfate, and I would make silverware polish. And I was always so amazed on how that could remove that purple blue color from tarnished silver. And obviously now I understand the process of removing that oxidation away. But what's happening is the silver within this gentleman's body is becoming oxidized, and it's forming silver salts that he can't eliminate. That's what was so exciting to me with our Sizzle formulation. Double-blind studies that show that you did not retain this. And because of that, it made it very probiotic friendly. And that is really exciting, because one of my biggest fears too is, okay, we have good and we have bad bacteria that we want to eliminate. Do I have strep throat? You bet. I want to gargle and swallow some silver. But I don't want to get it into my digestion system and have it destroy my good bacteria. Well, with our silver, it is eliminated within 24 hours of our system, so we don't have an accumulation effect to where we can disrupt this, 5 to 7 pounds of good bacteria that we contain within our gut. And so this is a Sizzle first. This is unique to the industry. It's the most effective form of silver out there, and it's the safest form of silver out there. To have this in your cabinet in case you have burns, in case you have, a mouth situation, as an ulcer, a canker, you're having dental work, and you want that to be as pristine and as health friendly for all the natural healing properties. This is one of those few ingredients that has thousands of years of testing to say, does it work? But once again, with Sizzle, we make it that much more effective, but more importantly, we make it that much safer. And so I didn't have my beard silver just for this, but for some reason it worked out. And somebody said, I look better than Kenny Rogers. That's on the chat. So whoever that was, thank you. And in a couple of weeks, I'll say this off, but I'm actually testing a couple of products that I need a beard for right now. And that's the reason why I have the beard. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be done with my testing, and then I'll be shaving part of this off. So, we're our own guinea pigs here. If it's not good enough for us, it's definitely not good enough for you. And, I can't wait for Lisa to come back down. Or I have a few things I want to squirt on her and see what happens. But it's so great to be part of what you're doing. And, it's been 2 years, just over 2 years since Dad passed, and we miss him terribly. But thanks to the great people in the field like you for sharing the Sizzle mission, sharing the opportunity. We're going to be sharing a new way to share Sizzle here in the next couple months that I'm really excited to do to help get a lot of the Gen Zs and the millennials involved in the business. I think you're going to find that exciting. But we have doubled the business, literally doubled the size and the distributor force that we have since Tom Sr. has passed. And so thank you so much for your valiant efforts, because there's never been a time in this industry in the 30, 40 years that I've been involved that's been more difficult. Well, I've never lived through a pandemic. I've never had a supply chain like this. And so for the last 2 years, to have actually doubled the business is very impressive. And that speaks for the products, and it speaks for the quality of people like you that are like-minded, who want the very best health and a business building opportunity. So with that, someone said right here, can you put silver in the fridge? Absolutely. You don't need to, because obviously it preserves itself. You can leave it in the car. You can put it in the fridge. you can combine it with other products, just like doctors and hospitals do. They put it on bandages, and they put it in lotions, and they put it in all sorts of things. And you'll see that we're going to be doing other things with silver also here coming up shortly. So, Liesl, back to you.
Okay, I'm just going to do something really fun. I promised that we'd do 3 silver giveaways. This is our silver launch in Australia. I know. So I've written down everybody's name.
Okay.
And I've given them a number. And you're going to say the number. We have 24 people in here. And I'm going to let you choose 3 numbers and choose the winners of who gets the free silver in their next order.
So a number between 1 and 24?
Correct.
Okay, which number am I? I'm going to say, I'm going to go with 3.
Okay, stop. 3 is Miss Genevieve.
Congratulations. You're going to love it.
You were a winner a couple weeks ago. Good job, Jen. Glad you won. So, okay, let's go to our next winner.
And I'll go with 12.
12. Christine, you guys can unmute yourself if you want. But congrats. Hopefully Christine is still on. I think she is. But good job, Christine. All right, your last one.
And so I've always got to say, because Liesl's always late to every meeting, better late than never. Whoever was number 24 has got to be a winner.
Okay. I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd go with the last one. And that one was a hard one for me to find out who that was. Ian, I think, was the last one, if I'm wrong on that. Ian, did you come in last? There was also...
I'm not sure, Lisa.
Okay. Did you come in a little late?
I did. I come in probably just after 9. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well, there was also one that just said phone call, and I'm not sure which one that was. But guess what, Ian? You're my last one on my list that I put there. So congrats to you.
Vicky was the last one in.
Who was?
So congrats, Ian. It's you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much.
One of the things in the chats that someone said also was that in Australia they use the silver for burns. And, when we were at Mower Mountain, Anthony Bacchini, who's always getting hurt around the Mowers, he got burned at a meeting. He had hot coffee on his arm. He had Thomas come up and give him a giant bear hug from the back. And those of you who know about Thomas, he just comes up and he gave him just a big bear hug right as he just had gotten some hot coffee, and it went over his arm and stuff. But he really got burned. And they got the Sizzle Silver brand new, just barely for the first time using it. And I'm telling you, the next day it was amazing. And his mom was really concerned about his arm. She really thought, she needed to have him go and have a look at it. But they put that on. And like I say, this is one of those products. Take it and see what it does for you. We all have our different little issues, elements, health battles, or just things we want to be healthier with. So see what this does for you. It's an exciting product. And I love products like that aren't just so narrow that only a few people can really benefit with them. So this can really benefit.
And it's not a product that you take every day, but you take it as you need it. And it will definitely, it's a great natural way to protect yourself, and it's a great product to have in the house and use as needed.
That's right. Well, guys, we appreciate you being on the call. We have some fun things to announce on our next call. That'll be in 2 weeks. I just want to comment on Tom's office. Were you going to clean that anytime soon?
Never. I'll just show you. I've got a lot of research going on. I've got a lot of files. that I need you to come back down here and help me go through.
I just was looking at all those things right there, and I'm just like, he didn't even clean up for us. So let's answer one last question on the silver. When you take as needed, what are the max days in a row that you can take Sizzle Silver?
Well, I mean, I've designed this that I don't have to worry about if people are consuming it all the time, because I know some people will. But what I would do if it were me, if I would take it while I had the symptoms or while I had the concern. If I was in the outback and I was drinking water I was concerned about, I guarantee I'd be drinking it every day on that week-long outing. If I had strep throat for 5 or 6 days, I'd be taking it 3 times a day for 5 or 6 days. If it was, cold and flu season and I was exposed, I'd probably take it for 2 or 3 days. But just to take it ongoing every day, it's not needed to do that. I won't say there's a max. It's not a 3-day or a 14-day, but it's not something that you have to take every single day. Fucoid take every day. Take it 2 or 3 times a day, and you're just going to be that much better off. But silver is one of those things that, like I say, I put it off for decades until I found this form of silver that meets our high standards of making it the very safest, but also the most effective. So there's really not a time, but take it as you need it, or if you're in an environment that you think it'd be best to do so. Yep.
All right. Awesome. Well, everybody's just saying this is awesome. They're wanting to know if they can have this PowerPoint. Absolutely. I'll send it to you guys. And there's lots of questions here. If you guys want, I'll gather those questions, ask Tom, we'll put some of them up and have him give us a little more in-depth.
One thing I just said, does it have an effect on heavy metals? Okay. It doesn't have an effect on heavy metals, but I'll tell you one thing that will affect the potency of silver. Remember, I was talking about halides, and Lisa, would you like to name a few of what the periodic table of halides is? The most electrophilic is fluoride.
Right.
Bromine, chlorine. Okay. All right. You're on. Anyway, table salt, things like that. If I'm taking silver, I don't want a lot of salt. I don't want a lot of those very electrophilic compounds in my diet, because silver will bind to them. And it will make the silver not as effective. So if I'm going to have French fries, or as you guys say, fish and chips with salt on them, I would have the silver, and then I'd wait an hour or so, because with a lot of salts, chlorides, and things like that, it will bind to silver. And so it's best not taken with a meal, because typically there's salt in meals. And so I would try and do it a half hour to an hour before or after. It would make it that much more powerful.
Yeah, because someone just asked about Himalayan salt. So probably any salt,
any salt, sodium chloride, sea salt, kosher salt, Epsom salts, any of those, it just definitely would help. It would want to bind to this micronized form of silver, or any silver for that matter. So it's best if you do not eat it with the meal, or don't consume it with the meal. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, hope you guys have enjoyed that. Lots and lots of great information. I'll send his PowerPoint. I think there's a few more slides on there that get a little bit technical. We could maybe do a 2-parter on this, but I'll send the whole thing for you guys, and we'll go through it. And I would love to hear some of your testimonials, and maybe on our next call, we can start having people kind of talk about that. Like I said, I'll put up that study that I found the silver in with some of the lung issues, that I was sent, and how much they took, the effects this person had with using it on their child. Just such a difference. Very cool study on silver. So I'm going to be sending that out to you guys as well. Thanks for joining us this Saturday morning. I know it's the beginning of your weekend, but we appreciate it. And we definitely appreciate Tom for joining us today. Lots of great information. We love to have him. And we're about done with our Mower Mountain recap, guys. So new stuff on the horizon for us to be talking about, but there's plenty of it coming up. So, yeah, second segment, Chris Morgan says, have a great weekend, everybody.